Go. Go. Go.
This one's the hardest one yet.
Oh yeah, because you're saying it to me today. Ready?
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves. First Philippians 2, verse 900.
What about, we might try that again.
2
Not time to
verse.
be funny.
2 verse.
What about now?
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves. Philippians 2, verse 3.
Beautiful, great, lads. We are going to continue our Bible story with Elisha. Do you remember who the woman is we were talking about yesterday and the day before? Do you remember her? What happened to her? What happened to her child yesterday in our story? Tirza?
His child was in the field, and his head and it was too hot for him. And then the servant sent him back home, and then they returned, and then the widow
She's not a widow. Her husband's still alive. The widow was before. Sorry, continue.
and then she sat there for until the middle of the day, and then he died.
And he died. And then what happened? We're making sure we're listening to our friend, not playing with things in our time. Isabel, then what happened? After he died, what happened?
Then she put him in Elijah's bed. Then she got a donkey, and he was going to search for Elijah.
Did she find him?
Yes.
And then what did Elijah do? You forget? That's okay. Evan, do you think you could sum it up for us?
But I'm doing something about ticks.
Not right now. Abe, can you sum up the rest of it for us?
Elijah wasn't even allowed to stop when
The servant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And then what did Elisha do? What did Elisha do? We're not playing with our erasers. We're not trying to break them. Put them in your desk.
Yeah.
Rebecca, what happened? Can you sum the rest of it up for us?
So the servant had to run and keep reading stuff. And then Elisha and the woman went back to the house. And then Elisha went to his bedroom and he prayed. And then he left the room. And then he prayed. And then he coughed 7 times. And then the boy woke up.
The boy woke up. And do you think it was by Elisha's power that happened? Was it because the mom was so sad that it happened? Or is there another reason that happened? What do you think?
God.
Well, just tell me. Just raise your hand. Tell me. What do you think, Abe?
G-O-D.
G-O-D, God. It was by God's power that happened, grade 1. We are going to continue our story. I need to see that you're ready and listening. That means no water bottles, my friends. No coloring. No erasers. Okay, I'll wait until I see that. You may rest your head if you'd like to. That's fine. Nice that it's dark out so that you can rest your head a bit and relax. Okay. Famine is happening in Israel, which is a heavy punishment. What did we say a famine is again? A drought is when there is no rain, but a famine is when there is no... Shout it out if you know. Food. This famine has come because the Israelites have left the Lord. They are worshiping the idols again. During this famine, Elisha visits the school for the prophets at Gilgal. He instructs these young prophets in the laws of the Lord. He teaches them about the Lord. They all listen carefully and try to remember what they hear. Finally, it is time for them to eat. One of them went to the fields to hunt for something because there was no bread. He found a wild vine. On this vine grew something like a melon, but about the size of an apple. Probably we can eat these fruits, the son of the prophet thinks. He cuts them from the vine, returns, and makes the meal ready. They soon sit at the table. Each gets a dish full of this cooked stew. They taste it, but quickly spit it out. Yuck, they say. We cannot eat that. It tastes too bitter. It is no food, but poison. If they would eat too much of it, they would get sick and probably die. They are so hungry, though. Man of God, they cry, death is in the pot. Elisha sees the disappointed faces. He asks, do you have a little flour? Yes, they have a little flour left, but it is not enough to make bread. Elisha tells them to bring some of this to him. He sprinkles it over the poisonous food, stirs it together, and the bitter taste disappears. They can now eat it. It is no longer poisonous. A miracle is performed. The Lord made this poisonous food edible. That means that they could eat it safely. All these people can now eat it, and it also tastes delicious. They feasted on it. They ate so much. Shortly after this, Elisha receives a gift from a plain man. He receives 20 loaves of barley bread and some dried corn. Now you must not think that they're large loaves, but only small cakes, like buns, kind of. Elisha would not eat his bread alone. No, everyone in this school must eat it. But how can that be? Isn't there far too little for that? He doesn't think there's enough bread for all of the prophets in the school. His servant says to him, Master, we have 100 people here. They all cannot eat of this bread and corn. There is not enough for so many people. Still Elisha said, Make the meal ready, for thus says the Lord. They all shall be able to eat, and there shall be bread left over. His servant obeys, and the impossible happens. The 100 men eat until they have had enough, until they're full. Everyone is satisfied, and it looks like there is bread left over. See, boys and girls, the Lord is able to make much from little. The widow of Zarephath had only a little flour and a little oil. Still they ate from this for months. Nothing is too wonderful for the Lord. If you have any difficulties, ask the Lord to help you. He is able because he is the creator of heaven and earth. Grade 1, have you heard a story kind of like this before in the Bible? What does it remind you of? Sebastian?
It reminds me of when all the disciples were sat in a circle, and then there was not that much food of like a fish, I think.
Yeah.
And then they ate it, and then it didn't stop.
Mm-hmm. And so was there enough for everyone?
Yeah.
Does it remind you of anything else, Rebecca?
The story with the little
With the widow, the one we read earlier? Got it?
with the Israelites, God turned the bitter water
Into good water so that they could drink it. Yeah. Very good.
when the birds came and they gave them the really good bread.
Good. So when the birds came and they fed Elijah, right? Yeah. Levi?
It kind of reminds me when the first famine in the whole Bible happened.
It reminds you about that? Okay.
No, not that one.
Oh, but that might be what Levi's reminded of, though. Maybe you remember something else, but Levi remembers this. Isabel?
Let's go good.
When he had berries? Okay. All right. So grade 1, we've heard a couple of different stories about like how this is happening and stuff like that, how God has provided. So do you think that God provides just one for each person? No. Do you think God provides, like maybe he'll say like, oh, come on, Tears, I've already provided for you like a couple times today. I've had enough. Do you think he says that? No, grade 1, what do you think we're learning from this story? What do you think, Matthew?
That God is powerful and He's the Almighty God.
Absolutely. Jordan, what up?
But Matthew not giving us food.
He will always provide for us, right? Do you know there's a passage in the Bible that it says that we shouldn't worry about our needs because even the animals in the fields are provided for, that even the lilies in the fields are beautiful, so we shouldn't have to worry about those. Yeah. Do you know that one? Got it? Yeah.
On dining room it says the Lord will provide and provide we'll put a birdie on it.
She put a bird on it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Like that one? No.
No, like,
A boat.
yeah. Sebastian?
I remember this story when I think when it was Elijah.
Yeah.
He baptizes Jesus, and then